Here's the latest on what caused the fire. Nothing definitive yet, but the Washington Post says the Palisades blaze may have originally started from fireworks on New Year's Eve. Firefighters put it out, and it may have reignited days later. Other reports say downed power lines might have sparked the inferno, and arson hasn't been ruled out. Lighting fire to Christmas trees and garbage cans. Turns out he was an illegal alien. His name's Juan. The governor says he can't get a straight answer out of anybody.
I want to get the answers. And I'll be candid with you, I wasn't getting straight answers.
And you weren't getting straight answers from
I was getting different answers. When you start getting different answers, then I'm not getting the actual story.
The governor doesn't have a strong grasp of what's happening and keeps passing the buck to the locals. But he's out in front of the cameras every day.
Governor Newsom, good to see you. Not great to see you under these circumstances. As you stand here, look around. Rebuilding, not going to be easy. We know building housing in California is not always easy.
I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward. And
why is the governor shimmying around like that with a smile on his face? What kind of presentation is that? Why does he look so gleeful when he's talking about land speculators? It's getting so bizarre that NBC is having to call Gavin out for spewing misinformation.
I don't know what he's referring to when he talks about the Delta smelt and reservoirs. The reservoirs are completely full. The state reservoirs here in Southern California, that mis and disinformation, I don't think advantages or aids any of us.
We do know, though, from reporting here locally that that one reservoir that serves the Palisades was not full.
Empty reservoirs, reservoirs not being built, budget cuts, lawsuits to save the smelt. All that's true. Gavin destroyed dams and then bragged about it.
You know, the Klamath River once supported one of the largest runs of salmon on the western United States. And for decades, dams along the Klamath River blocked salmon from migrating, damaging our ecosystems and hurting native communities who rely on these fish. By removing the dams, we're helping to restore salmon, steelhead, and lamprey populations, restoring, get this, 400 miles of historic spawning habitat, bringing life back to the river, supporting commercial and recreational fishing jobs, and honoring our commitments to tribal nations.
California didn't have enough water and firemen to put out the fire. They had a 5-day warning about record wind gusts. The mayor was in Africa. Gavin Newsom is trying to tell you that California was prepared. And it's all because of climate change. This is too big of a disaster to cover up. Here's a Free Press reporter who just got inside the bone-dry Palisades Reservoir. Watch this.
This was supposed to be the water to put out the Palisades fire. This is the Santa Ynez Reservoir. It's the water supply basically for the Palisades. When they first started fighting the Palisades fire, they ran out of water extremely quickly. Wednesday, 3 a.m., they were basically out. And there's been a lot of talk on why this happened. So how long has this reservoir been empty for?
Since February of last year. There was no communication from the Department of Water and Power to LAFD that there was a water supply issue.
The firefighters, when they started fighting the fires, no one informed them that the reservoir was empty.
What's worse, misinformation or mismanagement? DEI didn't cause the fire, but it distracted the state from preparing to fight it.
DEI. The lack of qualified personnel within LA County Public Services is staggering. In 2023, California's Fire Foundry program set out to explicitly reduce the number of white men that made up their firefighting force, prioritizing meaningless skin color diversity over qualification to fight fires. The Los Angeles Department of Water and Power boasts that they are leading their work with equity. Yanis Quiñones, the first Spanish-speaking and Latina CEO and chief engineer of the LA Department of Water and Power, said that quote, "It's important to me that everything we do is with an equity lens."
You call it powered by equity, and I know that it's been really important for the DWP to put an equity lens on everything.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the number one thing that attracted me to this role. It's important to me that everything we do it's with an equity lens and social justice and making sure that we right the wrongs that we've done in the past from an infrastructure perspective, and that we involve the community in that process. And this utility is serious about it, is authentic about it, and so I'm just super excited to be part of that movement.
The fire chief of LA County, Kristen Crowley, bragged in her fire chief nomination acceptance speech that she would, quote, fully commit to fostering a diverse, equitable, and inclusive culture within the LAFD. In an interview with a local NBC station shortly after assuming the role, she bragged about her 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity in the firefighting force, saying that no amount of diversity is ever enough.
She took time out of her already busy schedule to tell us about her vision for the department's future, one that includes a 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity.
People ask me, well, what number are you looking for? I say, I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough.
The sad truth is that if Los Angeles had focused more on finding qualified people to manage their forests and water, and less on DEI and climate hysteria, many Californians would still have their homes and their lives.
It's about priorities. The water chief was focused on DEI. The mayor of LA, Karen Bass, was in Africa, even though she promised voters that she'd never travel internationally as mayor. And here she is in Ghana, while her city was getting scorched. And instead of fireproofing their state, California today held a special legislative session and Trump-proofed it. Newsom just approved $50 million to resist Trump. $25 million is going to protect Biden migrants from being deported. So the illegal alien caught with a blowtorch, lighting a neighborhood on fire, Juan, Newsom is going to spend millions of dollars to stop us from deporting blowtorch Juan, who you're not going to believe what his excuse was for having the blowtorch. He said it was lighting up a joint. Bandits and arsonists are preying upon this devastated community while it's still smoldering.
So this is just some breaking news out of Santa Monica. Our colleague Bill Maloogian of Fox News just reporting that Santa Monica PD have arrested 10 burglary suspects in the Palisades fire evacuation zone since the fire began, and none of them live in Santa Monica. 6 had burglary tools with them. 1 pair had the Watch Duty app open on their phone to try to track the evacuation zones. The Santa Monica PD say that they were able to stop these attempted burglaries before they were carried out. We understand that one of them was seen and ran. They had a foot chase, and they caught him in possession of a dagger, a window-breaking tool, a mask, gloves, and narcotics. His name is Joshua Khalil Love. He's 29 years old. We got a 22-year-old Miguel Angel Durantes, an 18-year-old Dominic, in a van together, were pulled over by the PD. They ran a stop sign. They were unable to provide ID. They had the Watch Duty app open. This is how people apparently are doing this. They found more burglary tools with them. This is Bill Maloogian's tweet about this. Those are some of the booking photos for them. Overall, SMPD says that there were 39 people arrested in evacuation zones since the start of the fire. And again, none of them live in Santa Monica. Those not charged with attempted burglary were picked up for curfew violations, drug possession, warrants, probation violations. But it is worrying to hear that these people are clearly being strategic in trying to target these areas where people have evacuated, trying to steal their stuff. We're grateful that if indeed these suspects are guilty of what they're being charged with, that they were arrested